Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of a New American Town podcast sponsored by Oztrails. I'm your host today, Stevie, and with me I have two very special guests. We're here to talk about the Oz development team. Welcome, Scotti and Ernie.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Of course. So we are here today. It is a beautiful temperature. We're here in the mountain biking capital of the world in Bentonville, Arkansas. As I mentioned, we're here to talk about your team, Oz Development Team. So why don't we get started with a little bit of an intro for both of you. Can you please introduce yourself and give us a little bit of background, especially on your bike adventures and journeys?
Sure. I'll start off. I'm Scotti Lechuga. I've been riding for about 12 years, and that's actually how I met this guy. I had some lofty goals coming off of a running, youth and a lot of injuries. I found the bike in my late 20s, which is kind of late for most standards, but I found this guy, Ernie. He was the only pro that I knew in the state of Arkansas at the time, and I begged him to coach me. And from there, I turned professional myself and raced internationally in road racing. So stage races like Tour de France, the Giro, got to do some incredible races around the world. And since then have moved into ultra endurance, which is very long distance bike packing style racing. But if it has two wheels, I love it. And it's become just my passion in life. And so I'll let Ernie tell you a little bit about him, but our story is very connected in that regard.
Yeah, so my name's Ernie Lechuga. I've been riding for about 36 years now. I started cycling because my dad, he really wanted me to be a cyclist. So he kind of forced it onto me. So that passion grew after I won junior nationals. I got to travel with the junior development program, and then just got to, be riding a bike around the world and really enjoyed that. Landed in Little Rock because of Orbea. That was the last bike sponsor that we had on Jelly Belly. He brought me out and wanted me to do South American sales. Orbea Spain never gave that up to them, so he ended up putting me in a bike shop to get some retail experience. And I enjoyed people so much and just teaching people about cycling and what I've learned across the years of riding, that I just stayed in the retail business, and then that's where I met Scotti. She came along with really lofty goals, like she said. She's like, I want to turn pro and I want to race the Olympics. She didn't have a bike.
Wow.
So, and I was like, let's do it.
You're a visionary.
Yeah, I guess so, or crazy. But I think when the two of us met, we realized that we shared a passion for the bikes, and we started a coaching business shortly after we met because he helped accelerate my career in the sport so quickly that I was like, you have to share this with other people. You're a gifted and talented coach. And, long story short, the whole platform of Oz Development comes from Ernie's passion for having been in a junior development program and having seen the life parallels that take place within the sport of cycling as a young person grows within the sport. And so he's been really the driver of the vision for this new team, and we'll tell you a little bit more about it as we go. But
yeah, I mean, I really want to share with these kids what I learned across the years, and just being out there riding a bike. Being on a bike teaches you so much, right? Every single competition is like a little life in itself. So you make good decisions, you make bad decisions, and then depending on what the decisions are, you're successful or you're not, and then there's a lot of learning within that. So I want to be a really integral part of their lives whenever they're making those decisions, so we can, just make them little better humans, when they're out here.
Now, you've both hinted with some little puzzle pieces saying the words kids and races. So can you tell us, in a nutshell, put those pieces together for us? What is the Oz Development Team, and what are each of your roles?
Yeah. Oz Development is a racing platform. And what that means is we have a dedicated staff and a big van of traveling equipment that goes to key races across the nation that elevate the youth experience. So these are UCI-level junior races. We moved to Northwest Arkansas and saw that there were so many kids coming out of the NICA program. And then they're asking, well, what's next for me? What if I want to race longer? What if I want to travel? What if I want to maybe think about going to a college that has a collegiate program? What do I do next? And there really wasn't a next step. And so we created the program to serve as kind of a pathway for these kids that, Northwest Arkansas is incredible. It has the framework. It has all the opportunity to get kids on bikes, and then a really cool stepping stone for them as they age. And we just see this as part of that pathway, with giving kids an elite level sport experience. So that's what we've done, and it's been a really good first year.
Yeah, so it's and it's also more like a little professional program, right? We've been professionals together probably for like 18 years or something like that, and to give those kids that experience and to have that touch and for them to feel that special, we want to make them feel special. Mm-hmm. So this way they can accelerate their learning curve, right? So, and like Scotty said, NICA is great at getting kids into cycling, but like what's next is junior development program that we've created. So, they can stand on a group platform when they go race across the country and not feel like they're left alone.
Now, did either of you, either separately or together, have kind of a light bulb or aha moment when you said, you know what, I think we need to do this and let's go all in on this team?
I mean, Ernie's talked about doing this for years. It's really his passion for youth and cycling put together. I'm more of the doer and implementer. So he usually has the vision and I am the team manager. I kind of do the logistics and the communications and part of the fundraising. And it is a nonprofit. It's a 501c3. And so, part of my role is to find funding for this team and to put together the framework that makes it successful as it goes from place to place. And so,
she's more the creator and the visionary. So I say, this is my idea. And she's like, we're going to put art into that. And she just brings like the best of everything to it. So
and has really brought it to life.
Exactly. Brings it to life. So she's incredible at bringing things to life for sure. So I have to just think about it. And she's like, I gotcha. Let's do it. I'm like, all right.
Like a fairy.
Exactly. It is. It's so awesome. It's amazing.
Well, Scotti and Ernie, you have some amazing kids on your team, some amazing performers and youth student athletes. Can you tell us a little about how your first season went and where all you traveled to? Any sort of superstar results you want to share?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the superstar results come with, first of all, the kids just getting out there, right? We're taking these kids from doing local NICA races to where they can compete against kids that are actually racing international now. So that intimidation factor is really, really big. What's going through their little minds? Who knows, right? So just being there as a guides to help them kind of navigate whatever little world they're in inside their heads to allow them to compete at that level is huge. There is competition here, but there's a certain level of competition. When you go to a bigger city, or like international, like those kids are just at a different level, just mentally, maturity-wise. For example, just to get one of our kids on the road was success, right? This kid is incredible. He's so strong, without naming names. And like, he didn't want to go on the road. He's never left Arkansas. So for him to go out there and then compete and then get on the podium, I was like, that's huge for his life, right?
He'll probably remember that for a long time.
Yeah, he will. I think so.
Yeah, a lot of the kids in this program had never set foot on a UCI-level stage. And the way we approach that is to tell them, hey, this is just a bunch of dress rehearsals put together. Like, think of it as your chance to practice, because none of our kids have UCI points. They've never been in a UCI race. So they're starting near the back. They're coming from, total beginner in terms of this level. And our encouragement to them is just always grow. Like, compare you to you a year ago and look at how far you've come. And that's what was so cool about this year is we saw every single kid within the program just make huge leaps in confidence, in starting techniques, like so many vast improvements throughout the team. We did have a couple of like superstar moments. Our girl Landry McLean got second at Enduro Nationals in her age group. And
amazing.
So, yeah, we did have those podiums throughout the season that were super exciting for the whole team. And it was cool to see that.
But the superstar moments are the growth that they're having here when we go train, right? When I first met them, It was like a week before Centennial, the first, Oz Cup, they called it. And they were all over the place. They brought the UCI here to Fayetteville, to race at Centennial. So there was the first UCI race for kids ever, right? But our kids weren't ready for that. We raced in like just the age group stuff, and then they were dreaming of doing the UCI races. So this year, right? That was last year. There was no team. We were just kind of had pretty goofy jerseys. Actually, Walmart, BMC Walmart were the ones that kind of got the team together. We started with them. But then this year they showed up with their kids, and they were so proud, and they were racing. We didn't do well yet, but we're building that, right?
You have to start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere, actually, exactly. So, but the year before, they wouldn't even dream of being there, and then this year they're in there racing. They're getting their butts kicked, but they're doing it.
Well, there's a little butt kicking and also some superstar results. You have a fly-looking kit.
Yeah.
You guys look amazing wherever you show up.
Yes.
You have the equipment and the brand that you have created for your team. And I'm willing to bet you and your team are amazing ambassadors of Bentonville and Northwest Arkansas. Do you get asked about our area wherever you go?
Yeah, absolutely. So being on the road is one of the things we're going to work on next year. I think we need to school these kids on what to say and, hey, we want people to come to Northwest Arkansas to ride bikes and even maybe to move here if they enjoy it so much. Most of the kids that we hang out with at the races now, because now we became part of that family, that traveling family, right?
Yeah.
So everybody wants to come stay here. So our kids are, just building friendships, and they're inviting world-class kids to come hang out here. So it's going to elevate our level, right? So little by little, we're going to make this place amazing.
I love that. So you finished your first season this year, and can you tell us a little about what next season is going to look like as of now, or what your goals and aspirations are for next season?
We'll target the same exact race calendar. The events that we went to this year are the best in the country for this age bracket. And so that will remain the same. And all of those culminate with USA Cycling's national championships in the middle of the summer. And so our goals for next year is to just support it even better. This year, Ernie played team director, mechanic, every role that you could imagine, from cleaning water bottles to, slapping a new chain on because a kid broke one at the start line. And so he really ran the show solo. And our goal is to have like a more complete staff that can help these kids really elevate their game at these events.
Yeah, we want to get the team to where it could run on its own. So I'll get other coaches and then have, the idea is to get to where I don't have to be there all the time. And, the kids trust other coaches the way they trust me, and just, make it into where it's growing forever. It's positive development.
Yeah, and I feel like the kids having to hopefully next year, be a little more independent and autonomous will only just prepare them for more big races in the future as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. What do you hope is next for the team and the program overall? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, maybe 10 years out?
Yeah, I think that's a fun place to focus because for sure we're going to see some of these kids catapult to professional level sport. I think a lot of them are dreaming about that. Like, what would it look like for me to either get a collegiate scholarship and ride for a team in college, or maybe I'll be a pro athlete, and they're tossing around those ideas. I love that we have a mix of kids who they have very different personalities, like all kids do. Some of them you can tell they love to ride their bike. And so we really emphasize the fun factor. Like I said, I started when I was 27. Like, you don't have to have it dialed when you're 13. And so it's very important to us to keep the kids young in spirit. You can fizzle a kid out really fast if you focus too much on the performance aspect and podiums. And I've done that to myself in professional sport. And that's our goal, is to protect them from getting too in their head. And like, are you having fun? That is our first parameter, and they're young people and they have a lot of time to grow. And so I see that, talking 5-10 years from now, our goal is to create some longevity for these kids, like to think of cycling as a lifetime sport, but also put the dreams in their head like, hey, maybe you'll be racing in Europe one day, And I think even our program could make a trip to Europe one day if we had, some funding to make that happen. I see this program being able to grow to that level at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what Scotti says is dead on right? I think the goal is to get the kids first nationally, recognized and get them to compete here and then take them to Europe and like have them experience that. Because that's just a whole different ballgame, right? But yeah, our goal is definitely have a national champion in the next 3 years. We almost had one the first year, so that was pretty cool. So that's kind of where we want to head. We want to push the kids to where they can do their best and have fun and enjoy it.
Really sounds so amazing. Homegrown talent, right?
Homegrown talent. That's what it's all about.
It's very focused on this region.
Yeah, I mean, that is our goal, to develop the region and then eventually to bring more national kids to the area just to grow, right? So right now we have, like this year we had like 17 kids, right?
Yeah.
That's a large amount.
Oh, it was, it's a circus when we're out there, for sure. It is nuts.
All right, Ernie and Scotti. So if anyone is interested in joining your team, what should they do? Who should they reach out to?
We have a website presence now that we built this year where someone can go online and contact me directly or fill out an application. So we're probably soon going to announce that we're accepting applications. We have a lot of kids that are coming back from last year that will be kind of grandfathered in. We love those guys. And then we'll also make some room for new talent. And so Ernie's been showing up at NICA races, talking to the kids who are like clearly hungry for something else. And we're pretty much an open book. We make ourselves very accessible as the two founders of this. They can contact either of us through our website.
And on that, I guess one thing we should probably specify is this team open to mountain bike riders, road cyclists, both girls and boys. Who do you want on your team?
Anybody that wants to be competitive. And that's within the age bracket that we,
and that's 13 to 22.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So.
Yeah. It is a mountain bike dominant program. I mean, we definitely are targeting mountain bike races.
They're starting to love cycling, road cycling.
We went to Unbound this year. We did the big gravel race. We also have a few that are dabbling in road racing. Yeah. So it's really fun because they're realizing there's multiple ways to express yourself within the sport.
Yeah. So there's a group right here called TNT on Tuesday and Thursday nights. That's like, I think how they named it. And it's the fastest guys in the area. And I was really timid last year to bring the kids to that ride just because they weren't ready. But this year, I brought them out about a couple of months ago, and they're starting to keep up with the fast guys.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, so the fast guys better watch out.
Major props.
Yeah.
Scotti, you talked a little bit about funding and fundraising. If anyone is interested in helping with funding and sponsorships and donations, what should they do?
Yeah, please reach out to me directly. And when I say directly, you can find all my contact information at ozdevelopmentteam.com. We are really in need of always sponsorship, but also partners. And local partners make the most sense for us because we do enjoy promoting this area specifically. It does have a little bit of a tourism feel when we go out on the road and people are like, what's Oz? We get to talk about this region a lot and how amazing it is. And then riders from all over the nation are coming here and they're like, do you know how good you have it? Can I just stay for the month? And so it really does give us a chance to highlight what's going on here. And the sponsorships are, tax deductible for companies that are looking for that. It is a 501c3. And so there is a cool opportunity to showcase your branding as we go around the nation, with this big old Oz Development truck and trailer.
And support the local talent.
Yeah.
And develop the local talent, right?
Yeah.
Because there's definitely kids with talent, but we need to polish them up a little bit.
And by the way, the answer is yes. You can stay here for the whole month.
Yeah.
And beyond.
Yeah.
We have a ton of great bike-friendly amenities and hotels and lodging options in town. So we always love to hear when people hear of Oz and they want to come experience it for themselves.
Yeah.
Well, what you two are doing with these kids in the community is so great. Really developing up this young talent. Is there anything else that you would like to add to our conversation before we head out?
I think no.
I don't think so.
No, I think we're just super excited, and so we're looking for talent, going to NICA races and scouting kids for the first time, and trying to give those kids that do want to push the opportunity to be on a cool team.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. Scotti, you mentioned the website. Is there anywhere else people can find you online on social media?
Yeah, we do have an Instagram account. It's Oz Development Team. And that's really where a lot of the kids network with each other too. So I found that to be the best place to post things and share things.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it sounds like we're wrapping up here. Thank you both so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Check out Oz Trails online on social media as well at Oz Trails NWA or on oztrails.com. Thank you so much for your time today, and hopefully we will see all our listeners out on the trail soon in Bentonville.
Thanks, Stevie.
Thank you, Stevie.